name's Daniel, and today on the South Mountain YMCA Camp's online camping, we are going to cook shrimp burritos. Today on the deck, helping us, we have Daniel in his shade tent. We're also going to have Olive and Odin. They're going to be helping us cook shrimp burritos today. Alright, to start this segment off, you're going to need all of your cooking utensils. We're going to do a very large, medium to large size skillet or frying pan. You're going to want a spatula, a spoon, a knife, a cutting board, and for the food ingredients, we're going to use the protein. I'm going to use shrimp today. You can use chicken or ground beef or tofu, whatever you want to put in there. We're going to chop that up nice and small. We're going to have some tortillas, some hummus. I'm just using this little packet here. That'll be enough for 2 people. We're going to have some, I'm using frozen green beans, but you want to have them cut up decently. Some taco sauce. I'm using Taco Bell taco sauce. Shredded cheese. I have the 4-cheese Mexican blend right there, and some coconut oil. You can use olive oil, canola oil, any type of cooking oil. So we're going to get into it. Okay, to get started, we're first going to deal with our shrimp. So I have to peel this shrimp. So we're going to just kind of peel this up here, separating the, I used frozen shrimp. Really easy, you just kind of put in some water to thaw it out, and then the peels come right off. Just taking the peels off the shrimp. Got some dogs here. They're laying out in the sun. So I'm going to do about 12 shrimp. So I'm cooking this for 2 people. So it's going to be about 6 shrimp per person. Probably going to get about 4 little burritos out of it. And this you're asking why this recipe? This was something that sort of came out when my wife and I were really hungry and we didn't have anything in the house to eat. So I looked in the fridge and I was like, well, I got some tortillas and some shredded cheese. And in the freezer I got a half a bag of frozen shrimp and some cut green beans. And then we had some hummus. So just had to try to figure out what we do with all these ingredients. And so I threw it all up, made some burritos out of it, and it's now something that we eat on a regular basis because it, despite the odd ingredients, it's actually pretty tasty. It's Sarah's favorite meal, usually. So I'm just gonna clean all this shrimp. Only got a few more to go. And kind of an easy way to peel shrimp here. We'll do a little bit of a close-up if you can see it. So I usually just you can sort of peel it back, and then you grab the tail. It comes right off. But again, if you're using chicken or beef or anything like that, you really don't have to peel it because it usually comes without anything on it. Just open the package. Almost done. 3 more. 1. 2. 3. Alright, I'm just going to pour this water out over the edge here. I got below. Get rid of our peels. And then we're going to start cutting. So for each shrimp, I'm probably going to cut it up into about 3 pieces. See if you can see this a little bit better. You want to make sure that you're very careful if you're using a sharp knife. Don't cut yourself. Parental supervision is preferred. So like I said, I'm just cutting each shrimp up into about 3 pieces. And the reason why I cut them up into little pieces is anytime you put anything into a wrap or a burrito, the smaller pieces that you have, the easier it is to work with. If they're too big, then what ends up happening is you just got large chunks that fall out, and then all of your burrito pieces are gone. That's why shredded chicken and ground beef work really well, because you can sort of mold it into the shape that you need to inside the burrito. Alright, now that I have all my pieces done, I got a nice little pile of cut shrimp here. And again, they're, well, a little bite size. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to start my stove up. Today I'm going to be using an outdoor grill. And I'm just putting my frying pan on it like a stovetop. But you can use your stovetop, and you want to put it on about medium setting. Medium to medium high. You don't want to go too hot, otherwise you're going to burn stuff super quick. So to prepare our skillet here, if you don't want it to burn and stick to the bottom of your pan and have a messy thing to clean up after, we're going to go ahead and grease up the pan. You can use olive oil, canola oil, any type of oil that you want. I'm going to use coconut oil. The weird thing about coconut oil is it's actually solid when it's cool. So I'm using a spoon to sort of get it out here, and you can be pretty generous with the oil because we're going to actually be sautéing this. All right. So I'm going to put that there. Another thing that I'm going to want to prepare too that goes into this with sautéing is some minced garlic. So I have a little garlic clove here. And if you didn't know, a good way to get all that papery stuff off the garlic is to lay your knife flat, make sure that the edge is not pointing up, and you just hit it. And when you hit it, all the little papery stuff comes off. And you can put that right in your trash. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add this to our coconut oil. So I'm going to mince it up real fine here. Chop it up a little bit more. Alright, I got some chopped garlic here. Scoop it up with my knife. I'm going to go ahead and put that right in the pan with my coconut oil. And then we're going to fire up. Alright, now that we have the grill on, our stove top, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here so it starts to melt our coconut oil. And once you get that up to a decent temperature and you kind of see your garlic start to brown up a little bit, then we can add the ingredients. So, okay, so I have the frying pan with the garlic and the coconut oil heated up, and I know that it's hot enough because I can start to see the garlic sizzle a little bit with the oil. So that means that garlic is going to start browning up pretty soon. So we can go ahead and take those ingredients and add them into the frying pan. And you should hear some little sizzling if you have that hot enough. And it's getting there. So we're going to cook and saute these until they're done. Like I said, you can sort of let the saute in there a little bit, and you'll eventually start seeing the color of the shrimp change. And here's some sizzling sounds. Alright, so now we're going to take our taco sauce and we're going to add our taco sauce into here to give it a little bit more flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of this on here. Now that our ingredients are cooking, we're all done. Now we're going to start assembling the burrito. First thing you want to do is take out your tortilla shell. plop it down on your cutting board. Take your hummus. I'm just using this little starter pack of hummus here. And we want to go ahead and apply that on there and spread it out like it's a spread. You want to get that all over the place. Spread it nice and evenly. Next thing we want to do, take out our cheese. Take a little handful of your cheese here and sprinkle that around. And I like to be pretty liberal with the cheese. Cheesier the better, I think. Okay. Now we add our ingredients here. You don't want to put too much on, otherwise your burrito will be overstuffed and then it'll all fall apart on you. So you just want to put a nice little bit on there. Yeah, just a little bit more. Go. And this is where we wrap the tortilla. Fold the ends in. Just like that. Okay, so the next step here is we're going to want to take our frying pan that we've been sauteing and we're going to add a little bit more oil to it. Let that melt down. The grill's starting to smoke up a little bit here. That's the grill smoking, not the pan. We get that done. A little bit more oil. And then we want to take our burritos that we so greatly assembled. We're going to take the seam side down, and place it in the pan. Seam side down, place it in the pan. We're going to let that fry up for just a little bit. Cody, what you doing in there? Now we're just going to flip these guys over. Siri, you want to help me set the table? Okay.